Title: From Park to DC Streets, Pamela A. Smith, Shattering Glass Ceilings as New Police Chief of DC. TLDR, Mayor Muriel E. drops a shocker and names Pamela A. Smith, former U.S. Park Police Chief, as the new head of DC Police, making history in the process. Smith, a relatively recent addition to DC's law enforcement team, could soon be the first black woman to permanently head the agency since its inception in 1861. But with the city grappling with escalating crime rates, can she bring a new perspective to tackle this pressing issue? In a city famous for its grand monuments and historical import, DC is witnessing its own historical moment. Mayor Muriel E. Bowser recently announced that Pamela A. Smith, a former U.S. Park Police Chief, would be taking up the reins as the city's new police chief. This decision marks a new chapter for DC, as Smith could be the first black woman to permanently lead the force since its 1861 founding. Now, that's something to cheer about. Pamela isn't a fresh face on the block, though. Over her 14-month tenure with the DC Police, she has served as a Chief Equity Officer and Assistant Chief in charge of Homeland Security. But does 14 months offer enough city police familiarity to address the escalating homicides and violent crimes? Let's delve into Smith's impressive resume. She's a graduate from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff and has a certificate in criminal justice education from the University of Virginia. But the question remains, can her educational background equip her to face DC's escalating crime rates? Before her police career, Smith walked in the shoes of a social worker and a corrections officer in NYC. This hands-on experience with community development and corrections could add a fresh approach to her policing strategy. But will it be enough to make a substantial difference in the city's crime scene? Smith's journey from a difficult upbringing to her stellar professional accomplishments is inspiring, to say the least. She made the leap from a troubled home in Pine Bluff, ARC, to running on a track as a 3-time All-American in high school, to eventually leading the U.S. Park Police. But will her personal experience help her relate to and address the struggles of the people she now serves? Stepping into her new role, Smith has promised to tackle crime hotspots, focus on the most violent individuals, and use a whole-government approach to combating crime. She has also expressed support for Mayor Bowser's new crime bill. But, with homicides up by 18% and a troubling number of fatal shootings of people under 18, can these strategies deliver a safer DC? Not to forget, this nomination comes at a time when DC's public safety officers are without a permanent director, adding yet another layer of challenge to her role. Can Smith successfully lead the police department while filling this gap in public safety? Though Smith brings a new perspective, passion, and a different level of energy to the role, will this be enough to make an impact and quell the city's rising crime wave? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, her journey from a troubled past to making history in the nation's capital is nothing short of inspiring. As Smith embarks on her new role, we're left wondering, will her combined background in social work, corrections, and park police bring a unique approach that can transform DC's crime situation? Or, will the rising crime rates prove to be a challenge too steep? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, she's got all of DC watching. Now it's your turn, readers. Do you believe Pamela A. Smith can use her unique background and fresh perspective to turn around DC's escalating crime situation? Or is this an uphill battle even for someone with her commendable history and experience? What's your take? Let us know. Note, this news article does not serve as any form of advice or recommendation. It's purely informational.